Hey there, welcome to Product Marketing Genius. I'm your host, 𝗵𝘃𝗀𝗀. As CEO at 𝗀𝗵𝘁𝗄𝗵, where we help tech scale-up stand out and succeed, I know the importance of continually sharpening the saw. And that is why on this show, I bring you priceless nuggets of wisdom from some of the best minds out there. And today, my friends, our genius is Jason Druss. So tell us, Jason, welcome to the show, first of all. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you very much for speaking. I would hardly consider myself a genius, but I appreciate it. I am a senior product marketing manager at Adobe. I'm an inbound PMM, and I work on Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects, the world's #1 pro video editing and motion design applications.
Absolutely fabulous. You talked a little bit about inbound, right? So, Jason, if someone were to ask you, how would you look at inbound versus outbound marketing? What's your take on that?
Well, product marketing can be a lot of things. And you never see it done the same way twice at any organization, right? Sometimes even within business units and organizations, right? So the purpose of product marketing is to be the voice of the customer, representing the voice of the customer. But when you have, lots of product marketing responsibilities and opportunities, it's hard to be a jack of all trades that excels at each and every discipline. And also, at the end of the day, there isn't enough time. When you get to the point where you're scaling your product marketing teams, various people, they have their own strengths and their own characteristics that makes them really, really great at certain, specifics of the job or the discipline or the craft of product marketing. So in the pro video business, we have an inbound, outbound split. On the inbound side where I am, we are able to represent the voice of the customer from conception and ideation of an idea that we could develop all the way through go-to-market product launches and then in-market analysis. But by being an inbound PMM, I'm able to spend way more time with the developers, the product managers, the design organization, the engineers. I'm able to craft MRDs or market requirement documents that showcase if we were to do a certain idea, what would it look like? What would it feel like? What's the user problem and solution? And by really honing in on the development aspect, the core positioning, messaging, and storytelling, go to market, and then the analysis once it's in market, and also being a spokesperson for the product, we're able to really focus on that slice of the pie. Whereas our colleagues in outbound, and there is a nice little overlapping Venn diagram right there, as there always will be, but they're able to focus on more of the creation of marketing assets and the strategy of, okay, like there's a new feature in Premiere Pro. We have all of these channels at our disposal. How do we tell the right story to the right user at the right time? How are we targeting all these different segments and users? What kind of campaigns are we doing? And how are we focusing product marketing efforts on websites and marketing funnels and all those other things? So the outbound team is able to focus on a lot of that. And the inbound team, which in the pro video business, we're very lucky. Most, if not all of us, are subject matter experts, former video professionals who have been converted into product marketers. We're able to really represent the voice of the customer because at one point we were the customer and we do know the products inside and out and have lots of passion for Adobe products. So it really plays itself out well. And it's a great split, and it's been a really, really productive way to organize our product marketing organization in pro video.
Absolutely fabulous. So thank you for that, Jason. So tell us now, we're at the Product Marketing Alliance Summit in New York.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit, how familiar were you with the Product Marketing Alliance before the event? Have you been to other events before? Are there any highlights that you'd like to call out?
Yeah, absolutely. This is my, I think, third or fourth PMA summit, or PMA events. I've been to a few virtual events. I was at the Atlanta Summit last year. I was at the AI for Marketing Summit for the Alliance in San Francisco last year, and I've been on a couple of their webinars. I really, really love and enjoy the Product Marketing Alliance specifically. I'm not a traditional product marketer. I've only been doing this work for about just over 4 years now, actually. Most of my career has been spent as a film colorist. So when I transitioned from being a film colorist to a product marketer, I was looking online. I was like, how would you be a product marketer? I found the Alliance. I found the PMA. I took their certification course. I became obsessed with studying the craft and discipline of this profession. And if it weren't for the Product Marketing Alliance, I don't think I would have swam. I think I would have sunk. So there's just a lot of love for the organization. And coming to the summits is great because I can bring all these insights back to my team.
There you go. Definitely, folks out there, if you have a question in your mind, whether it's worth attending these summits or not, don't even worry about it. Just take the plunge and attend the summit and take the advice of Jason. So wonderful, excellent advice. In fact, if someone is out there wondering, right? I've heard Jason talk about the importance of these summits. but they're trying to make a case to their management, right? Why they should go. What is one reason you would give them, perhaps to justify to their management, why the summit is really worth their investment?
Yeah, well, again, as product marketers, we spend a lot of time talking to customers, talking to prospects, doing win-loss analysis, if you're on the enterprise side. A lot of our time is spent speaking with lots of folks outside of our organization, because product marketing in many ways literally is insights. So if you're investing there for the core responsibilities, and because this, like all other professions, is very rapidly moving and accelerating, it's growing in popularity, and especially with all of these AI tools all around us, you really need to stay up with what's happening with the latest trends and latest technology innovations. So, I mean, the better insights you can bring back to your team, the more learnings you can bring from people who you never would have connected with otherwise, it kind of seems like a no-brainer if you can do it once or twice a year.
A no-brainer, folks. There you have it. Excellent advice. So, Jason, let's imagine a founder or a CEO came to you, right, and said, hey, why is product marketing critical to my organization? Why is it indispensable to me? What would you tell that founder or that CEO?
It's a great question. I'd say product marketers fill advocacy gaps and insight gaps that certain leaders or ICs in certain parts of the organization might oversee. By having one unit or one team, or in some cases one person, based on the size of the org, who can be that voice of the customer across development, product, engineering, design, go-to-market, competitive analysis and intelligence, in-market analysis, all the other areas of development and launch you do, you're able to ensure that you are always fulfilling market requirements with the product that you're making. I think product requirements are something that we take for granted, right? We're all used to product requirements. How do we build this? How do we construct it? Who's it for? But when you really get into it, you want to make sure that the original idea and purpose for an idea that you have to develop actually has the right product market fit, actually solves the right problem for the right person at the right time, in the right way, the right price, the right packaging. And if you don't have product marketers at the seat of the table to make sure the development links with the go-to-market, that links with the sales enablement, that links with the demo, that links with the community response that you're funneling back in to fuel more development efforts, so on and so forth. If you don't have product marketers to ensure that you are actually meeting and exceeding marketing requirements, then you will end up spending a lot of money and a lot of resources and a lot of wasted time reiterating and coming back to the drawing board. Essentially, you need that unified voice of customer empathy. You need that unified voice of representing the customer with a seat at the table in most primary functions at the business, from the development all the way up to executive communication and executive strategy.
Excellent answer. I think people underestimate how indispensable and critical this is. So let's say a product marketer came to you, Jason, and says, hey, Jason, I'm trying to take my career to the next level. What are 3 skills I should really double down and invest on? What would you say to that?
Okay, that's another good one. Traditionally, if you're looking at the core components of the job, you're looking at storytelling through the framework of positioning and messaging. You're looking at go-to-market strategy, and you're probably looking at competitive intelligence and analysis. Those are some of the big top 3. In reality, I've found that the internal marketing of product marketing can be just as important as the external marketing, because that seat at the table that we've been talking about, that's great to say. It's not guaranteed. And sometimes it's not given. You need to prove your value and prove your worth, because product marketing is still a relatively new discipline in the world of technology, despite how much we love it, no matter how much we understand its importance. At the end of the day, you need to be able to show up and make sure your executives know, that your PMs, that all the other groups, that everyone knows, oh, this product marketer, they bring value. They know what they're talking about, and they're helping lead us to the right direction, because they are core business strategists that we need for success. So in that light, I would say presentation skills, public speaking skills, and the ability to influence without power are 3 of the most critical skills for a product marketer.
Excellent advice. So there you have it, folks. Jason, thank you. Folks, please reach out to Jason for even more insights like this. And for even more insights, definitely check out a copy of my Amazon bestseller, Product Marketing Wisdom. And you can get the free ebook version at wisdomfromwizards.com. And see you next time on Product Marketing Genius.